PYROLITICAL Radio Show.
Sun shine off that beautiful building, the Trump building, Vegas, Nevada.
We're talking in part about stronger regulation.
Stronger.
We need to think a lot.
We need more regulations.
Breaking up these kinds of super firms, or at least making
the
sure
super firms
that they work for their
Bust
workers
the trust.
and they work for consumers.
And
consumers.
Then there's a third piece.
The third piece is
Wait for
investment in public goods.
Investment.
People talk a lot about infrastructure. That sounds kind of wonky, but
Yeah.
it's really important. And it's
Wait.
not just about public money invested in roads and bridges.
Yes.
It's also about public money invested in transportation,
Infrastructure.
and the things that are going to help
Yes.
low-income people
Whoa.
get to their jobs,
Yes.
find jobs, keep jobs. You have to think about all those things.
Got to think outside the box.
All right, Felicia Wong, President and CEO of the Roosevelt Institute.
Roosevelt.
Thank you.
Is that
Also
FDR?
watching to see who Donald Trump's campaign might name for its economic transition team.
Who?
For that, not clear. The overall Trump transition is being run by New Jersey Governor Chris Christie, along with former Trump Chief of Staff.
That ought to go
Banner.
well. Hi, Pyros. I was going to live stream, but I'm in the middle of the desert, and I don't feel like pulling over in the desert because I don't have any reception out here. Dang it. It's a beautiful shot. Look at this shot. Gorgeous. Really. Driving along. I'm in the Valley of Fire, Lake Mead area. And yeah, so I'm trying to drive safe with one arm tied behind my camera. Well, I just left Vegas, and as you saw, their Trump casino was gleaming in the sun. Oh, look at this advertisement. That's how you know you're in the Vegas area. Every billboard has some sexy woman on it. That's that's Vegas. It's the way they do down here. Oh, I'm hyper. It's a little bit of Red Bull. This episode of PYROLITICAL is sponsored by Red Bull. So I was driving through Vegas. You saw the gleaming gold tower of Trump, and I wanted to talk to you about a video that's coming up. Not this video, even though this is awesome. I'll make sure to drink Red Bull before the next one too. You're welcome. I'm going to do a movie review of the movie I saw the other night. Dinesh D'Souza's Hillary's America. The Secret History of the Democratic Party. I saw that with family members, and it caused quite a stir. We talked for 2 hours about, well, I talked about the proper role of government philosophy, but really the conversation was about presidential candidates. It's weird. I haven't heard about those for the last 3.5 years straight. So Dinesh D'Souza's Hillary's America was, wait for the review. But I've noticed one thing in talking to different people online and just on the radio, you listen, and in the media, people have decided they want Trump, they want Hillary, or they think they're independent, like me, and they're considering not voting for either. People have asked me who I'm voting for. It's been interesting because it's so easy to look at Trump and say, well, he's a fascist. He's a warmonger. He wants to build a wall. He wants to strengthen the military-industrial complex. He's part of the establishment, the elite. But then you can kind of look at it and that he doesn't talk about the Constitution, and there's no interpretation there. The people that he's talked about being in his cabinet, they're all a bunch of statists as well. They're all big government people. But then there's the other side. I've noticed that Stefan Molyneux of Free Domain Radio, and he's very libertarian and very almost anarchist, and he's an atheist. He's actually been pretty fair to Trump as far as he seems like he supports him. And the other thing too is, like, nowadays in our military-industrial complexified monarchy that we have, essentially, Ron Paul and people with principle, it just seems like it would be impossible for a principled freedom fighter to get in there. But a brash, fighting, ego-based person like Trump, maybe he is independent-minded enough to assert the constitutional boundaries of the executive. I just can't see him doing it. I mean, I can't see him firing the Department of Education or any of the agencies. But part of me wants to think, well, he's very independent-minded. Maybe he would. I've noticed, too, that InfoWars, who tends to be anti-government, they've been kind of supportive of Trump. And so the idealist in me says, no, he's a fascist. He doesn't care about the Constitution or liberty. He's just not a good choice. He's a George Bush, except more of a business George Bush. And I'm very, very much against the George Bush being in office. And to me, Donald Trump is in that vein. But then again, these very anti-government media outlets who I respect, I like what they say. I like Stephen Molyneux, a lot of his stuff, and I like InfoWars stuff, some of it, or a good chunk of it. They're very okay with Trump, and it's kind of weird to me. And I also, like I said, the idealistic part of me rejects Trump, but then I think, well, who actually could get into office besides a billionaire who is very independent-minded? That's about probably the best you're going to do on the federal level. Hillary, though, she's a murderer. Sorry, but when you support war after war, unconstitutional war, and you're a big advocate for globalism, you're a big progressive, you honor Margaret Sanger, you worked really hard to get socialized medicine, single-payer system, which we're heading towards. People around you die all the time. You're just bad, okay? Sorry, I can't support you. I don't even care if you're a Democrat. Like, you're just surrounded by evil, and where there's fly, there's usually beep. So Hillary's just bad news. Like, all those conspiracies about lizard people, she's probably the best case that they might be true. The reptilians that rule the world. No, I don't buy all that, but I don't feel the spirit of Christ about her. And I know Trump, he's very like, ugh, but maybe that's the best you can do. But then again, I back away from those two candidates, and even if I wrote in someone or I supported Gary Johnson or some third party, I mean, I'd almost vote for a communist flat out in the Green Party than I would those two major candidates, because that's how much I love the parties. But I back away, and I get all James Madison-y and Thomas Jefferson-ish, and I say, we just need the state government to fight back against the federal, to insulate us, the taxpayers, the citizens of Utah, so to speak, to insulate us, to fight back, to push back. That's kind of where I'm at. If you read Ephesians, Paul says we wrestle with spiritual wickedness in high places. My church put a footnote there saying that was governments and secret combinations, conspiracy. If you look at the federal government, how many people that they've been responsible for the death of, and all of these statist, communist type programs, the social safety net programs, you just are like, they're Babylon, they're gone. You got to send them back and change the laws. And I'm like, you can't reform Babylon. It's just, you can't go in there and make a difference. I just think like it's pointless. So I'll go vote because I'm trained to do that and I care. But I think the federal government's gone. I just think they're gone. They are, it's Satan. It's Lucifer's, organization. I know I'm running on, but this is how I felt about the election for the last 3.5 years. I just feel like it's pointless. Is that sad? A little. But I love the U.S. Constitution, well, at least until the 13th Amendment, then you can kind of throw the rest away. But, I do believe God inspired the man who wrote that and helped the men and women who created the conditions. So I do care about it. I took an oath in the U.S. military to defend it, preserve and protect it, and to follow the orders of the President of the United States, except when he's a tyrant. So you got to be involved. Stop putting all your energy into the federal election. Put your least amount of energy into it. Put it into local and state government. Nullify, insulate, resist. Your duty as an American. Look for my movie review of Dinesh D'Souza's Hillary's America coming out soon. Peace out, PYRO.